What is up, everyone? I am TM Nerdy. Revenge of the 5th today, guys. Revenge of the 5th. Whiplash Wednesday is also today, so make sure to check out Nick Comic Culture after this show. Then after that, go on over to Big Herm Collectibles with Sam's Tangled Web and Bueller. They'll be talking about The Punisher. Then after that, jump into Tomorrow Cinema's channel and see all of us chatting with the cast of a TV show. What TV show? You're going to have to tune in to check it out. But today, I am talking with none other than Hermino Reyes from Big Herm Collectibles. Let's give him a hearty station, and let's welcome Big Herm Collectibles. Station!
What's going on, TM?
It's going. How is your day going?
It was all right. All right. A lot of sleeping. You know what I mean? Trying to get ready for this day. New comic book day. Can't wait.
Comic book day, and it is crazy, guys. It is amazingly crazy this week. I can't wait to delve into Miracle Jennifer. Oh, I'm sorry, Molly. That's right. I keep saying Miracle Jennifer because it looks like Miracle Jennifer. So, all right, we're gonna delve into you, Big Herm Collectibles. Why don't you tell a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the comic book game?
Yeah. I am Hermino Reyes Jr. And of course, I'm from New York. Born and raised in New York City. Well, Brooklyn, New York. Um, yeah. I'm Puerto Rican. My family, my mom and dad are from Puerto Rico. So I grew up a Puerto Rican in New York, Brooklyn. Um, the first time I got into comics, I remember being what 5, 6 years old, and somebody giving my mom a bag of comics, a full shopping bag full of comics, and there was so many goodies in the comics in those bags, and I already knew what comics was, but I didn't see many of them since I got that bag. Like I think my cousin had some, but he never really showed them to me too much. He did, but that around that time he got into the comics too. But I don't know. This had to be back in like 85, 86, and my yeah, I was really I was really young at that time, and I remember watching you know cartoon from the you had Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's how I knew Spider-Man. You had the Justice League show and all that, but yeah, so I knew a little bit about some of the characters, but when I picked up that bag, my first comic that I pulled out of that bag was this particular comic right here, Amazing Spider-Man 166. You had the Lizard and Stegron up in there, and I
That's
I was
amazing.
like amazed already. Like Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man was like in trouble with two big monsters in front of him, and all I thought was like, oh man, how's this guy gonna, get out of this predicament right here, So I was from there. I fell in love. There was a lot of other issues in that bag. You had like Avengers 257, which is the first appearance of Nebula. I like to say that. There was a few Marvel tales. You had Rom. You had Power Pack. That's why I have some love for the Power Pack. Rom. Man, it was mostly Marvel in there. I guess that's why. Out of all the publishers, Marvel will probably stick there a little bit over all of them because it was mostly Marvel in there. A lot of Marvel, a little bit of GI Joe, a little bit of Transformer was in there. I mean, the list can go on. I could go here all day, but so I remember seeing this big bag of books. I don't know. I think it must have been like anywhere between 75 to 100 books in there, some give or take. It was a lot of books, and I just love going through them. And of course, I couldn't read that deep yet, so I was just going through the picture, trying to sound out the pictures and all that. But yeah, so that's how I got into comics. From there on, you know, I started loving, the '90s. we went into the 90s and all that good stuff from the 90s. And we discussed this before, with Image and all that forming in the early to mid 90s, almost mid 90s and all that. But that's how I got started in the 80s. So I got a lot of love for 80s comics into the early 90s. You know what I mean?
So you said when you first started, because you were young, you just looked through pictures and that. My question is, like, what was the first writer that you actually fell in love with from Marvel? Because we all know that you are a huge Marvel fan, so that's your wheelhouse. So which writer was your first favorite writer of any Marvel series?
Um, well, from a kid, I really didn't pay attention to writers and artists right away. You know what I mean? I didn't think about it. I keep looking at every comic and it never hit me. Oh, these are different writers, different, you know. So I seen the names of it. I seen the name of Stan Lee a lot and all. I've seen a lot of I did see Todd McFarlane in there and all that. But by the time Todd McFarlane came in the scene where he got popular, that's when I started noticing the names. So Todd McFarlane have a special place in my heart because he's actually the first real like artist that I started noticing. You know what I mean? It was like Todd McFarlane drew everything to me as a kid. But yeah, he's the first one. I mean, you have plenty. You have plenty. I mean, and this art right here, this is John Romita Sr., I think, who drew this, which I have both versions. I have I don't remember which one is the direct version and which one is the the newsstands, because you see up here they have like where is it?
But I
Up
thought
here they have a square there and they have
yeah,
a triangle there.
that's weird because
Go
usually
ahead.
when you look at newsstands, it's where the code is. It's like if it's a newsstand, it has the barcode at the bottom. But I could be wrong. I'm still fairly new to collecting comics as well. So
Yeah, I mean they both have the same numbering in the bottom, so I don't know why it looks like that. But that's the only thing I could guess. I don't know which one if it's considered like this came out in late. It's a Christmas issue, so it came out probably Christmas of '76. Even though it says March on the top, usually like people think like that's the actual date that the comic come out that month, but not really. It came out a couple of months before that, and that's the month where they pull the comics off the rack or something like that. You know what I mean?
hmm,
But
weird.
yeah, I'm not sure. Like if anybody knows, let us know in the comment. Which one is direct. But at that time, I don't think there was as many comic book shops as there was in the 80s. This was still late 60s, late 70s. So yeah, sip of this.
All right. So we know that you're a fan of Marvel and that. My question is, name your top 5 Marvel characters or Marvel issues that you'll never drop.
Oh man, top 5 Marvel characters. I mean, Spider-Man, easy to find out. Spider-Man's one of them. Wolverine was my favorite X-Men growing up, so Wolverine will always be a title I'll pick up. Um, I mean, the easy ones, Incredible Hulk. I will always pick up Incredible Hulk when it's in the rack. Captain America, um, Batman. Would probably have to put that man in there because from DC, he's my favorite DC character. Spider-Man and Batman, they're both like my two favorites. Like I'll give it to Spider-Man, but by a little bit. But I love
I'll
them
get the
both.
DC. I'll get the DC.
Oh, you
We're
get
talking Marvel right
the
now.
okay. So man, like put me in a spot right there. Top 5 Marvels. Like I named 4 of them. Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider as a kid. I love Ghost Rider, so I guess I have to put him in there. I mean, there's a lot, man. I'll probably leave some out, like Daredevil. I like a lot of them, but if I have to go with a top 5, I mean, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider. Uh, I'm already forgetting names already. Which ones are the other ones I named? Um, I did name Incredible Hulk.
You name Spider
Uh,
Man, Incredible Hulk, Ghost Rider. That's three. So two
Ghost
more.
Rider, um, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Ghost Rider. Now I'm just forgetting names. Now we press record or live or whatever, and I'm forgetting my names. But
Come on, aren't you a huge Marvel fan?
yeah, I am. I am. You know what I mean? But doesn't mean I can't forget. You know what I mean? Like you know, I'm not gonna name comic boys right now. I'm not gonna name. I'm not gonna name that whole situation. you
That was pretty bad.
know?
But yeah, no, like so you like the Incredible Hulk, you like Ghost Rider. What about Punisher? What about Daredevil? Those are two ones that I never heard you say, and I know you love those
I
two
said
characters.
Daredevil earlier. I did say
Oh, you
Daredevil
did.
earlier.
Okay, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the name I forgot. That's the name I forgot. You know, Daredevil. You know what I mean? I was so into trying to get Batman in there, but yeah, Daredevil. Daredevil, I always pick up. That's like my underdog pickup right there. Like, not a lot of people don't always talk about Daredevil when they talk about their favorites, but he is in my top five. Like Daredevil come out and all different because I've been on and off comics throughout my life for different reasons, and Daredevil is one of the titles that I do pick up. It's Spider-Man, Daredevil, Hulk, Ghost Rider. If I see Ghost Rider, I'm picking him up. You know what I mean? I know I'm leaving one out. I know I'm leaving one. I'm trying to look around and see if there's a character that I'm leaving out, and I'm gonna get mad at myself for forgetting. Um, I do love the Silver Surfer, you know, but that I think that as much as I loved him when I was a kid, I think I love him more now than I love him as a kid. So I don't know if that counts, but I do love the Silver Surfer. You know what I mean?
I would have to say it does count because like I fell in love with the Silver Surfer. Like I seen the second Fantastic Four movie. I did not enjoy that, but when I sat down and watched that Silver Surfer's uh, series that dropped in the '90s, it's on Disney Plus right now. If you guys are not watching that, go check it out. It's Kirby goodness. And then Justice League, or not Justice League, holy, um, Silver Surfer Black by Donny Cates was like it just drew me right into Silver Surfer, and I felt for the character, and I just fell in love with him after that. Like Donny Cates just made me fall in love with him. So kudos to him. But speaking
Yeah,
of Daredevil,
he's an amazing
Kevin Smith
character, man.
and yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Um, I I did buy a lot of Silver Surfer as a kid too, because I loved them. So I guess he does count. And reading the Infinity Gauntlet complete last year, there's a lot of good early Silver Surfer stories in that. You know, Ram Lim and um, Ron Mars did for the Gauntlet. Um, I think Jim Shooter's involved in all that. But the Silver Surfer, if you get a chance to get those issues, I don't know if they're expensive. You should go get them. The 80s, mid 80s, from one all the way to like whenever the run ends. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Phenomenal. I was able to. I guess it's the 50th anniversary issue. I was able to pick up the first and second printing of that with Thanos on the cover and then Silver Surfer flying forward. It was a '90s comic. I was able to pick up the first and second issue of that. I don't have it yet, but it's on the way. So, like, yeah, because after reading Silver Surfer Black and watching the cartoon, I am. It's safe to say, like, I am a fan of Silver Surfer now.
Yeah, man. Can't go wrong with that guy, man. Those were
No,
great stories. You read those stories, you're gonna fall in love with them. Great
yeah,
stories.
like forget the second Fantastic Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. Don't look at that as the Silver Surfer. Go read Silver Surfer, guys.
Definitely, definitely.
And Daredevil, like guys, if you have not read Kevin Smith's run on Daredevil with Joe Quesada, go check it out. Don't listen to Comics Kings, Brandon. Go check out Daredevil by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada. It is phenomenal, guys. And what do you think of that series? I'm betting you have read it.
That series, I read some of that series, but I have to go back and read it again. I don't remember a whole lot of it. Like I said, I've been on and off of comics throughout my life, and I think in the middle of that series is where one time I went in and started buying those comics. But I remember mostly. I don't even remember that. I can't even talk about it because I have to go back and read it again because it was a long time. You know, it's hard to remember everything. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
comics.
like, especially with a pull list like yours. Like, how many comics do you pick up a week?
Well, I wasn't picking up that level of comics when I started again 4 years ago. They started racking up a little bit like later last year, which is like the wrong year because pandemic year. But it used to be I started up again at like 8 to 12 comics a week. You know what I mean? And I guess things got more popular. Indies started getting more and more popular. So that's where everything started picking up with the indies, and then and this when I first got back 4 years ago, comics was dying. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, oh, the list wasn't as big. The list wasn't as big. If you look at Marvel, how many they're printing now, that was like a week of everything. You know what I mean? So but now it just started adding up, adding up, adding up, and now I get as many indies as I get Marvel. I get like 10, 12. I get 10, 12 Marvels a week. I'm getting the same amount of indies. So there was a couple of months where I was picking up like 30 books a week, 30, 35 books, and that's a lot. Like I had to stop. I'm starting to stop that. That's too much. But I made the channel in September, so I don't feel like I have to get it, but I wanna get it. Tell everybody look at these comics, show people comics. Because I love comics. That's why we all here watching you or me or anybody. You know what I mean? Because we love comics. So that's pretty much why I kept picking up more and more. And then I do enjoy the stories. Like you sit there like, oh, he probably doesn't even read half of them. I try to read them all. I try to read all of them. And if I really don't like it, I'll drop it. Except for like a few. But I do love it. I do love it. But right now, it averages around 25. I'm trying to get it down to 20. A long answer, but
25. Holy. No, it's great.
yeah.
I loved it. 25. My financial, like, I'll look at a book and I'll be like, will I really like it? Because my financial situation is just like 10 is too much for me. 10, I'm
Yeah.
overdoing it. And I'm at that point where I am picking up 10. Like today, I picked up 10 comics. And it's kind of my own fault because I did pick up the second print for Layla Starr and I have like 3 issues of the first one. So, huge fan of Rom V. But yeah, like there is Image was the first like indie to actually come up from the fires and actually make something of themselves. But this later year, like we had Boom Studios, we have like AWA, we have Second Sight Publishing, we have all of these indies just popping out of nowhere. And it is like adding to our list. Like, what is like your favorite series,
Oh
like
yeah.
your favorite indie company that has just popped up recently?
Well, everybody who's seen my videos, Boom Studios. You know what I mean? I freaking love those guys. I love. First, they come up with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They got Power Rangers. So that's two things I love growing up in the '90s. And then they used to do wrestling for a while. When I came back into comics, I was getting all of those. I
I did
have to
not
like
know
bring
that at
them out one
all.
day and show them on one of my shows. Yeah, a lot of nice ones like with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, all those wrestlers from a few years ago. And yeah, so I'm excited. July, they previewed this month the New Day comic. They're bringing back wrestling issues, 2 issues. They're gonna have a 2-issue series with the New Day. So that's gonna happen in July. But just naming those are licensed. But I love Something Is Killing the Children. Oh, go ahead. You're gonna say something because I'm gonna keep going.
Brother Joe, did you just hear that? I know Brother Joe is watching right now, but Brother Joe, get on it. in July, Herm just said that there's going to be wrestling comics. So that one's for you, Brother Joe. Go ahead. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, Herm.
No, it's all good, man. I plan on one day talking wrestling with Brother Joe. Maybe we could show our wrestling, whatever we got for wrestling, the magazines and all that. But that's a whole story we can get into for another day. But Brother Joe, we gotta do a show together. But yeah. Something's killing the children. I mean, James Tennant, right? James Tennant. I gotta say his name right. Tennant. Did I say it right that time? But
I think we all have our own ways. I still say Tinian.
yeah, James Tennant. Tennant. That's gonna bother me for a long time to I feel like I'm saying it right. But the Last Switch series I've been liking. There's so much from Boom Studios right now, but right there, that's my favorite indies. But AWA came up with some good ones. You know what I mean? Now Second Sight Publishing, we're getting involved with those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think the only one series that I really, really loved from AWA would have to be Hotel. I've really, really enjoyed that. It was kind of a creepy little setting with this creepy hotel and stuff. And of course, the PCP Army is trying to bring that book back.
yeah, it's funny. I read a lot of them. I have that whole set because I missed out on the first issue. So I went around looking for it and I finally found it in a 50-cent bin. Go figure. It was really weird. But I found it. I found the whole set. So now I have the whole set, but it's somewhere in one of my boxes that I showed already in my video, and I have to read it now. But I have to find it. But yeah, AWA. I have a lot of love for those guys too. I did like Resistance. A lot of people didn't like that one, but Bad Mama, Bad Mother. Am I saying it right? Bad Mother. You
I
ever
think
read
it's. I
that
think
one? That
it's.
was a good little
I
series.
think I've never read it, but I think it's called Bad Mother or Red Mother. There's a series called
Bad
Red
Mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad Mother.
Oh,
Red Mother is Boom Studios.
okay.
Yeah. That's why I get confused. But Bad Mother, you're right. And that was awesome. That's one of my favorites from them. You know what I
And
mean?
not only is like AWA and Boom like just killing it with all of their like titles that they're coming out, Image is also coming out with like amazing titles still. Like Shadecraft is coming out. There's Spawn still coming out. New Spawn Universe is coming out. Um, there's so much Department of Truth crossover. It's just so much indies coming out. I'm surprised. Like all of these comics are still doing great. And you recently just started picking up a ton of DC comics. Like, how did that start?
DC Comics?
Yeah, how did you start picking up as many DC titles as you are? Like this, I know for a fact that a couple of months back, like before something started, before Christmas, you weren't picking up as many DC titles as you are now. What happened? What started that?
I always pick up DC titles.
Oh,
Always.
come on now.
It's just what happened
Before
is
it started, a future state
you
got you to pick up more.
no, if you look at my videos, if you look at
Okay,
my early videos, you
sorry.
see
I'm
I picked
thinking
up
of
some
Fable.
DC.
I'm thinking of Fable, but like a lot of people are picking up
The wrong
DC.
guy, right?
Yeah,
No,
picking up
they
DC.
are.
I thought you weren't picking up as much as you are now because of Future State. That's my mistake.
No, it's okay. No, I always pick up DC. Always. Like, but there for a while, their lineup they didn't have a whole lot to pick up. You know what I mean? They didn't. Um, there was a lot of problems going on with DC. Whatever in the back, they fired their head guy or whatever, Didio, whatever his name is, Didio. Somebody probably correct in the chats, but there was a lot going on back there. They dropped Diamond out of nowhere. They dropped Diamond in the beginning of the pandemic, where everything was happening. You know what I mean? They had the goals to do that. So I
Mhm.
don't think they were releasing too many DC titles, just main titles like Batman, Superman. They were still releasing. I don't read. I might as well go to my little bit of an origin on DC. As a kid, I didn't really read a lot of DC because they weren't really available to me when I was a kid. Every time I would go to the newsstands, because you had the newsstands. Well, we in Brooklyn, you really didn't have like the newsstands you did in the city, but you had to go into the stores, which I call bodegas, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Latin. But we would go to the bodegas. It wasn't near me. I had to walk a couple of blocks, and then like I didn't know when they released comics. So when I go, it was mostly Marvel and maybe some DC. They'll have Batman because I guess that's their high seller all the time, and Superman. So I would pick up those. But back then, like especially in my area and all my friends, Marvel was on fire. Especially in the '90s when Todd McFarlane came in, when Rob Liefeld and all of them. When they all came in, it was all Marvels around my way. I was the only one of the only ones that actually bought a Batman book, bought a Superman book. I didn't have too many Flashes or Green Lanterns or nothing like that. It was just Batman, Superman. I didn't even see a lot of Wonder Woman around my way. That's how popular the other ones were. But as time progressed and I was able to, get older and have a job and all that. And another thing, the '90s, the crash happened, and I lost all my LCSs too. So now I really can't buy DC. So that's one of the reasons why I ended up stopping for a little bit, not because I didn't want to, it's because I had to go really far to get my comics. But back into DC, I always enjoyed Batman and Superman, and through those titles, I used to get Justice League. So with the Justice League, it's when started knowing all the characters. Because if it wasn't for the Justice League comic, I wouldn't know a lot of the characters. And of course, you see the cartoons and all that. But yeah. So that's how I started picking up DC. But I always was into DC. I love comics. So if I see something that interests me, I'm gonna give it a shot. Just like indies, even though that time I didn't even know it was called indies. I just thought, oh, it was a different company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they even called it indies. But yeah. So that long answer, but you know,
That's what we're here for, man. We're just chatting with the community, the comic community, the best community in the world, in my opinion. And
yeah,
Roscoe.
yeah. So like Green Lantern, I'm not gonna say I don't like it or like it. I never got into it because of that, and there's a lot of story there, so I have to go back and read all that. Good thing
Yeah.
now is with all the devices we have now, we could do it. But back then, it was a little harder. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. That's why I don't pick up like I'm a DC fan. I pick up a lot of current DC stuff. I like all the DC movies. Well, most of the DC movies. I like their animated movies the best. But I haven't really delved into anything Green Lantern at all because there's so much backstory. There's like so many different types of rings. Where do I start? Which Green Lantern do I start with? Um,
Hmm.
so it's a bigger story, but that's probably why people have gravitosed. I hope I'm saying that right. Towards that series because it's an
Gravitated.
ever changing series. So it's something new for people each time in that series, and it's expanded so much rather than like a Batman story stuck in Gotham, same characters. But thanks to Tinian, we're getting more and more characters like Miracle Molly. We're we're also getting a new character in Robin, which is Livewire. Like I'm enjoying these new characters because like we need something new, and that's why people jump towards the indies and stuff because it's a new setting, new characters, new kind of feeling, and you can jump in and not be confused.
Yeah, there's a whole history. Like Batman, I could always, for whatever reason, you could always pick up wherever you left off. Because in the past, when I was a kid, that's how you did it. You pick up wherever the number is. So there were big numbers, 245, 500, whatever it was. You're not gonna go back and get all that. So you picked up wherever they were, and you read it. Batman, it was always an easy title to pick up and just read. Superman too. Just those other ones, a little like Flash. It's not hard or nothing, but I didn't even know about Barry Allen and Wally West and he was just a Flash to me. So when I started knowing who Barry Allen is, and of course because Smallville, I think they had a Flash say he was Barry Allen.
No,
So
he was Bart Allen, which confused the poop out of me because like I was like, who is Bart Allen? Like, why
oh
is
yeah,
it
that's right.
Barry? And
Yeah,
it
that's
was it
right.
was Impulse instead of Flash in that series. So
Yeah, I
sorry
forgot
about that.
about
I'll
that.
go.
See, but I didn't know no better. It's okay. I didn't know no better. I didn't know a whole lot about Flash till like a little bit after. You know what I mean? And that's why I started like reading up a little bit about it. But like characters like, and then Flash, I was like, oh, all he does is run fast. I wasn't interested as a kid. You know what I mean? I mean, there's more to it now, especially reading the Joshua Williamson run, which was freaking great. Um, yeah. So like Green Lantern, I like the Ring. It's just I couldn't get into. I couldn't find the comics. I already said earlier, but
Yeah,
now you
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. I think a lot of people are the same way with Green Lantern. Like you either got into it or you didn't, and now you're too far. It's too much ahead now that you can't. You have to really delve way back into a lot of history to understand what's going on.
definitely. You know, all I knew was the death of Superman and Batman getting his back broken. You know what I mean? So and that whole storyline. That's what I follow. I didn't even know a lot about the Wonder Woman history. I loved the show back in the day. You know, when I was a kid in the '80s. You know, and all that. But Wonder Woman is something I want to get into too. She's an interesting character even before the movie. You know, but I never got to read her neither. So a lot of the DCs, I think that's what happened, you know, comic book wise. But the shows, like animated shows and all those are freaking awesome. You know what I mean? You start knowing more about them through the shows than you do through the comics. You know, so yeah, but like I still
That's
love
how.
DC. I love
Yeah, that's how I got introduced to most of these characters, like X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman. Also, Batman Beyond, like the next Batman
Batman
for that.
Beyond. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Um, and that's how I got into the characters. Like the only character that I got into from comics wise, and I picked up a comic at the grocery store and saw Shadowhawk. That's my first comic hero. That's why I like Shadowhawk so much because he's my very first. It's just like your first when you. Never mind, I won't get into that. But all right, let's getting on.
You're a funny guy.
Sometimes.
I saw you reaching for your Shadowhawk. So
I also have like we have like a new indie publisher that just came out, Second Sight. Are you enjoying them at all? I'll just kind of flash this as you're talking about it.
that book was really good. I enjoyed that book. A lot of action, non-stop, and all that, and it was just awesome. Now I want
It,
to read
it
the second issue because I don't want to do no spoilers, but at
yeah
the end
it
there, they leave a little cliffhanger, and I'm like, "Urgh."
but like as soon as you open that book, it's just nonstop action throughout the whole series. Like throughout the whole issue, I'm just like, oh, I'm in it. Like I'm just like I'm not stopping. And it was a really fun thing. Like if you guys have not read The Edge, go read The Edge by Marvin Wynn, Second Sight Publishing. And Marvin is probably in the chat right now. So station Marvin. Thanks for stopping by.
Station Martin.
He's everywhere. He's you won't see another creator in chats as much as Marvin. And I also recently had Alfred Page, the creator of Blowtorch, on my channel as well, and Bueller popped in
Yes,
for that. So,
great
um,
interview, man. Good job.
have you read Blowtorch yet?
I have not read Blowtorch yet. I have it. I have it here. Like I picked it up it came last week, but I haven't been able to sit down and really read it. And I'm still like, because it's the ones I got is really exclusives. So I kind of don't want to open it too much. I'm not like that with my comics. I read them all, but since that is a Bueller exclusive, and you know, comics with Bueller, he means a lot to a lot of us. You know, we look up to that guy. So I don't want to
Him
ruin the
and Bob,
book, but
him and Bullseye Bob. I'm just gonna say that Bob
Bullseye
is
Bob.
he's an inspiration to me for
Whoops.
certain reasons. So like I just gotta
Yeah,
show off
yeah,
that. I love Bob too.
yeah. Bullseye Bob, Sam. I do a show with him a little later. So all those guys I look up to Rockin' Robbie. You know what I mean? A lot not popular, but Comic Time I still look up to him. Comic Time, Gem Mint. You know what I mean? All these guys, Omar from Near Mint Condition, I do follow him. Omnibus King for me, him and Gem. You know, but yeah. So yeah, I try. I'm gonna read it though. I'm gonna like man up, and a lot of people like the sketch ones because those are usually the ones that people go for. But I think the print run is the same. Like everything is print run these days, and I love the
Well,
color one, so I'm probably gonna
I
read the black and white one.
and these are both exclusives, so I think the print runs the same for both of them. And so I think there was like only 100 of them. That's it. That's worldwide 100 issues of this Bueller exclusive. So yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
worth
So
money. Did he sign it?
I don't think he did. I don't think I've seen him sign it. I didn't. I forgot to tell him to sign it for me. But I had to relook at it. I had to open it up and look at the back, see if he did. But
Yeah,
if he
that's
didn't, the
where.
next exclusive he does, I'm gonna tell him to sign it.
Uh, that probably won't be until October with Radio Apocalypse. Did he?
Oh, is that exclusive on your show?
I, no, no. That's isn't that what he said a while back? He was planning on doing it. Maybe that's changed now. That remember he said he was planning on doing it with Radio Apocalypse with Ron V. But then it changed, and then he went with that blowtorch because Radio Apocalypse got delayed. So I wonder if he's still going to be doing an exclusive with them or
Okay.
not.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. We'll see.
I
We'll see. You know what I
I
mean?
guess I do
Whatever
have
it
a
is,
good.
I'll wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it should be
But
great.
yeah, but going back to the indies, uh, any we got off the rails a little bit. I don't even remember. I know we were talking about indies and blowtorch, but yeah,
We were talking about like
there's so much
reading
like
blowtorch.
image and all that. But
Yeah. So what
so
have I
you
talked
cut
to you
off a
about
little bit there.
DC and like what are your favorite DC titles right now? I know besides Batman, but you can say Second Son Batman. But besides Batman and Superman, what are the top titles that you are reading now from DC?
Top titles that I'm reading now from DC. Well, I besides Batman, there's a lot of Batman. There's a lot of Batman. But I do enjoy. I haven't read the Robin one yet, but Nightwing, that's a hot book right now. You know, and Nightwing is my second favorite DC character. Like I was always wrestling, who's my second favorite DC character, and I realized like the Nightwing run that nobody was liking, I was getting them, and I wasn't hating on them, and I was like, I don't think they were great, but I don't think they was as horrible as people say. I actually enjoy that run. You know, it's a little different, and I understand like he lost his memory and all that. People just wasn't digging it, but I still dug it. It was a Nightwing. I love Nightwing. Dick Grayson. Um, I wasn't old enough to see him as Robin. So by the time I got into comics, by the time I started reading DC, Nightwing was there, and I think actually Tim Drake was the third Robin. He's the one that ended
Yeah,
up being the Robin at my time, because I think the one before him, the Red Hood guy, I keep forgetting
Jason
his
Todd.
name.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, the one everybody hates. I remember being a little kid when he got killed off, and it was on the news and everything. I was like, what? You know what I mean? But
That's crazy.
so I really
I
didn't
don't
get.
think I was born
So Tim
yet.
Drake is my first Robin.
And wasn't it Tim Drake in the
uh,
animated series as well for Batman? Wasn't it Tim? They didn't use they didn't use Dick
yeah,
Grayson. They
yeah.
used
They
Tim Drake.
no, the animated series it was Dick Grayson, and then
Okay.
they skipped him. They skipped Jason Todd and went to Drake after.
Okay.
Because remember there was a young uh it was like a teenage Dick Grayson, and then like he became Nightwing, and then later on you saw Tim Drake, but you didn't see Jason Todd. They skipped that. You know?
Yeah.
But
All
they
right.
did do a comic. I think the Batman Adventures Continues. I think that has Jason Todd in it, which I have to reread them because I didn't read them all.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was a
back live.
continuum.
Quick, look, look,
I didn't pick that up at all. Uh, but yeah.
Oh, they're good, man. They're good.
So, what are you watching now for movies
What
and
else?
TV? We'll just change the subject and
Well,
Batman. Like you've said your
I know you
DC.
did.
Let's move
I
to
was ready
movie.
to name. I was ready to. I didn't name all my DCs there. You know, I do read Catwoman. I do read Catwoman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I do read Catwoman. You know, I do read. I read the
Because you got to
Flash.
represent Ron
Joshua
V.
Williamson got me reading the Flash. And then Ron V was Swamp Thing. I never read Swamp Thing consistently like that. The only Swamp Thing I bought was maybe the Halloween issue a couple of years back or something. But I wasn't a Swamp Thing fan. I wasn't a Man Thing from Marvel fan. It wasn't really me. I didn't hate them or nothing. It just wasn't for me. But Ron V's got me reading Swamp Thing. So I had to
And
mention that one
he's doing Catwoman, isn't he?
in Catwoman, and I enjoyed that one too. So there's a few DC titles I'm enjoying. You know what I mean? I love DC, regardless of what you tell me. You telling people I love DC. So yeah, I mean, okay, you know, we can move on to the next question now. You know,
It's all right if you hate DC. I hate Marvel.
no, that's all right. I do not hate DC. I love DC. You need to stop that. You know what I mean?
All right, moving on from
God.
comics. We've delved into most of what you love from comics and that. Let's move on to movies and TV. Is there any comic based movies and TV shows that you are loving, and which ones are you hating?
Comic book based, like besides Spider-Man the animated series, the one I like the most for Spider-Man, Batman the animated series, the one I like for Batman. Those are gonna be the top two forever. You know, Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. I grew up with that one first, but Spider-Man animated series, Batman. That's the best Spider-Man. You know, that's the best Spider-Man, and the best Batman the animated series. That one's the best. Period. Any kind of cartoon thing, but recently, the Invincibles, man. I haven't read the comics, but that is really good. I've enjoyed that whole season. We went over all the episodes on our show on Sundays. But yeah, that's my favorite adaptation. Do I hate anything?
The
Man,
Invincibles should have
or
lasted
dislike. I
longer,
don't
in my
like saying
opinion.
hey. Uh,
Eight
well,
episodes is
they
not
extended
enough.
it 2 more seasons, so
8 episodes is not
episodes,
enough.
even though they were too long for you, but yeah, Invincibles. What else came out? I don't think I dislike any shows like that. I mean, I like The Walking Dead a lot. We got attacked for liking The Walking Dead. Me and you like The Walking Dead. You know, that's a comic book related show. You know what I mean? I don't. Do I have one I dislike? I really don't know.
And you were a
I
fan
can't say
of
I have any that I dislike.
Agents of Shield, weren't you? You're a
Yeah,
fan of
Agents of
Agents of
Shield is
Shield.
really
I
good, man.
just had somebody on here recently that's a huge fan of Agents of Shield. So like I don't know, I'm finding these people out of nowhere that are fans of the Agents of Shield and just bringing them on. So yes, I'm picking favorites.
Yeah, because what happens in the beginning, you know, in the first beginning of season one, it to me it's storytelling and every episode was like a one shot. You know what I mean? But then things pick up towards the end of that season. Then every season to me got better, better, and better, and better, and better, better. And I still have to watch that last season. I've been slacking this year, but I love Agents of Shield. I thought that was phenomenal. And we like a couple of the same shows, so there you go. You know.
Yeah, we do. Like, and I am also like I do. I got crap for watching some of the CW stuff. Like I do watch The Walking Dead. I'm a little further ahead on The Walking Dead than you guys are. Guys, Princess is in one of the episodes, and it's probably one of my
I
favorite
have to pick up.
episodes.
I'm trying to get caught up with that. Yeah.
But I also watch Supergirl. I'm trying to watch the last season of Supergirl. I did drop back Batwoman, but I still watch The Flash. Um, DC Legends of Tomorrow is just that show does not take itself seriously, and it's just a fun watch.
It's
It just
good.
came back. It
It's
just came
good.
back, and I just watched the next issue, the next episode, and it was hilarious. So you guys are gonna
Yeah, I
want to
think
check that out.
if you don't take any of those shows too serious, I think you will enjoy it. I need to watch the new season of Supergirl that's coming up. I do like Supergirl. I do love the actress,
This is her last
Melissa
season too.
Benoit. Your name? Yeah, that breaks my heart. You know what I mean? Comics will break your heart, Jennifer. You know she's right.
And
You know,
Travi will
even
break your
shows,
heart.
comic shows. Yeah,
But
but
it was her choice. It was her choice to end the show. Like she's like, okay, I'm at that point. I think we've told enough story that we can get to. Like, it shows a lot that the characters that are playing these characters are like, okay, I put my heart into this show. I think we told enough of her story, and that I'm gonna get out while the getting's good, instead of like
yeah.
overstaying my welcome, right? And she's doing a great job. I love the actress. She actually met her husband on that show, and like they're
Do
married
that
now,
show.
and stuff
Manu,
like
Manu, whatever his name is
uh,
on the show.
Marvel.
Manu, something like that.
Wasn't it Marvel?
No, it's Manu, something like that. I forgot his name in the show, but
Yeah, but
but yeah,
he did. Yeah, go
oh
ahead.
yeah,
Like I was
yeah. No,
just
I
gonna
was
say,
just saying I watched those shows. Go ahead.
I didn't
I
say
think
anything. I
I'm
just
like
said go
a
ahead.
split second behind you. Oh, okay, yeah. I do enjoy most of the CW shows. I started with Arrow, but I didn't start watching until I think the third season or second season, and I enjoyed it, so I started watching it from the beginning. I enjoyed Arrow. A lot of people got off it. There's a couple of seasons that weren't as good as I think the fourth season or something wasn't as good as the beginning, but I still enjoy, especially that last season was the way they ended it was really good. Um, I enjoyed Arrow. I enjoyed Flash. In the beginning, everybody loved it, and then everybody fell off of it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know, they got tired of it or whatever, and they said it's bad.
I'll tell you
I never
something.
thought it was bad. You know?
I cried like that opening scene, like when they first showed it, and then they showed him running through the city, and he's just talking. He's narrating this, just like I need you to do something for me. Can you believe in
Yeah.
the impossible? Like I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna be an amazing show. Like I was just like,
Hmm.
they finally did it. I was like,
Yeah.
not saying Arrow is bad, but like I was like, oh man, they're actually bringing this to life, and I was so excited.
All the crisis stuff, I thought all of that was really good, especially the last one where they brought everybody in there and all that. So I do enjoy it. I don't like you. I don't like Batwoman. I just I think I just tried to get the rebirth version of her issues, the first 9 or 10. I just didn't enjoy her character. I don't know why. I just don't get into it. And then the 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 actress that played her, I wasn't digging her as a Batwoman. Maybe it was just me, but I just wasn't digging her as Batwoman.
And
So I could never really get into it.
now there's a new Batwoman this season. I don't mind that character. Like I'm trying to get into the story, but it's just the way they left off the last season. I was into that story because like they left some cliffhangers, they left some story set up for the next season, and I was all for that. But then they wrapped it up all in the first episode of this season and moved on to something else. I was like, oh man, no.
Yeah, I couldn't get into at all. I didn't even get past the first episode of the first season. So I didn't think her as a character. So to each his own, I guess. But yeah, Black Lightning.
Ooh,
I didn't like the actor too much too. But I never seen the show, so I can't say if it's good or not.
don't like the actor. That actor is amazing on Black Lightning. The guy who plays Black
You do?
Lightning. I love that's That's on its last season too, or yeah. And I'm loving Black Lightning. I know people are having the controversies of being like, "Oh, well, Superman can just come and save," with it being in the same universe than that. And it's like, well, there's crises that happen in comics, and Superman is in the comics in that same universe, and he doesn't come and save them all the time, like jump around and stuff. So, like, why is it different that it's on a TV show? You think he's just going to jump in every time that there's a crisis around the world? No, that's not going to happen. So don't keep saying like, oh, well, I don't see how this can happen if they're in a world of Superman, like they're taking people like with that and stuff. It's like it happens. Like behind Superman's back, they cloned him and made a Superboy. So if they can do that, they can, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just people, these days people dislike a lot of things for just because they want to. At least that's how I feel like it. Everybody, we all have our own opinions, and I understand that, but like some people, I know people that just don't give anything a chance. They're convinced they don't like something and they don't give it a chance. That's why I like watching Rock and Robbie live and his shows and his reviews. I know we're going back to comics, but he at least gives something a chance.
Just
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he at least gives something a chance and all that. That's why I gravitated towards him, towards Bueller. They do give it a chance, whether they like it or not. You know, whatever, to each his own. But that's what I like. I like Black Lightning. You told me all that. I might sit down one day and watch Black Lightning. Maybe I end up liking it, but I can't say it's bad because I haven't given it a shot. I tried to give Batwoman a shot, I just couldn't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But there's a
And I
lot of
agree with
CW shows too. You know what I mean? What happened?
I agree with you on Batwoman. It's a little harder to get into, but like Black Lightning, I feel like if you watch it for what it is, like it's something new and it's great. I really enjoyed it.
And then we watched The Walking Dead, and then The Walking Dead, I think it's still good. It's just like maybe people tired of zombies, or maybe the phase went away for them, but I don't know how you feel, but I think still feel it's still good. A lot of the actors, they're good actors. They pick up for these shows, you know.
I think I think it's like let's say a comic series is better a better read um in compendium form or trade paperback form, right? It's a better read and that than picking up single issues every 2 weeks or every month. And that I feel it's the same with The Walking Dead, the TV show. It's if you sit there and watch it like one a week, you will get bored because it's a lot of setting up. It's slow episodes, but if you actually watch it, like decide to watch like 3 episodes in a row, you will enjoy it more. Trust me, I have done it.
Okay. Have you watched like Fear the Walking Dead for a while? It was actually my favorite out of the two.
I never
Um,
watched it.
like it's good, bro. It's good. It starts off a little slow, like a lot of shows do, but well, maybe okay. The first few episodes, like action packed, then it starts off a little slow, like, but it keeps picking up, picking up, picking up, and it became better than the main show for a while. Like people not digging the last couple of last season or something like that. I think it's all right, but the beginning, all of that, and some of the characters in there, it is great. And now they connecting them to The Walking Dead, the main show. I'm enjoying Fear the Walking Dead, and but the third show, I saw the pilot. I wasn't really digging it too much, but I guess I watch it more to see if I'm gonna like it. But that maybe is too much. That making a third show, you know.
All right. Moving on from TV and movies, is there any music that you enjoy?
I enjoy. I mean, I grew up liking, rap. From that time. Biggie. I love Biggie. I grew up, Coach Jay Z. I'm gonna say the Brooklyn guys first. You know what I mean? But LL Cool J, Nas. I grew up liking all those guys. Run DMC when I was a little kid. So that's what I grew up liking. But I'm also Latino, so I like salsa. I like me Mark Anthony, and all that. That was my favorite as a kid. Frankie Reese was before when I was a kid. When I really was a kid. Um, Man, Frankie Negron from all that time, La India and all that. So I love my salsa music, Spanish music, some merengue. You know what I mean? That's what I enjoy as a kid. Uh, Now, I did as I got a little older, I was enjoying like I do like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. I do like all that. You know what I mean? I still do. People were like, "Oh, you nerd," but I enjoyed it. They used to make fun of me for liking it at that time. Just like
For
comics,
those,
they made fun of me.
for those people who are making fun of people for Backstreet Boys or liking the Backstreet Boys, they're secretly they do enjoy that. Like, I don't care who you are. If you say that you didn't enjoy some of their songs, I am straight up calling you a liar. I don't care.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake's my favorite out of all of them. And since then, so he blew up and did his own thing solo. So he's my favorite, at least from now. From that. Yeah. So that's the pop music and all that, Britney Spears and all that. That was my thing growing up. Now I don't really listen to the rap as much. I guess I'm get off my lawn guy saying like they're not as good as they used to be. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I say that, and some rap fans be like, "You crazy? This guy, that guy, this guy, this guy." But I guess you have to grow up with it sometimes when it comes to rap. But yeah, I listen to just like my comics. I listen to almost anything. You know what I mean? Except I don't know if I can get into classical music too much. It puts me to sleep. It's nice music, but jazz is nice, but it puts me to sleep too. But but that's the type of music I like. I do like a little, I don't know, rock. Linkin Park was like the best thing for me with metal. So love me some Linkin Park. So I don't know if I can name anybody else right now, but
That's all
you
right.
know,
That's all right.
that's my music right there.
Well, guys, we're gonna get up on out of here now. This was just amazing, amazing sit down with Big Herm Collectibles. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Herm, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you next on this lovely Wednesday day?
Well, of course, after you see this wonderful interview that TM put together, I will be on the Big Herm Collectibles. We have the Whiplash, Backlot Bros Whiplash. You know what I mean? We have Nick coming on probably somewhere in between my show and TM's show doing his haul. So I will be with Sam, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about The Punisher with special guest Bueller. So I'm very excited for that. We're going to talk all things The Punisher. You know what I mean? And then like later on, tomorrow's cinema show, man, he's going to have TV stars up in there. And I'll probably join them for that. And then the next day, Thursday, it'll be my first time on the Rock and Robbie live show. I'll be his guest on that show. I can't wait. I'm very excited. That's Rock and Robbie is my guy. So I'm gonna have Bueller one night with Sam, and then the next night I'm gonna have Rock and Robbie. So I'm excited for that, and then of course I'm excited for Sunday because I'll be with my host with my co-host right here, TM Nerdy. We're gonna be talking about this thing right here, if I can grab it better, and we're gonna talk about issues 16 through 21. From this, we're moving along to all 50 issues every Sunday and up to when we finish it. I'm enjoying it with him, talking about it with him. And then we're going to have members of the Bad Batch come in. We're going to talk news. We're going to talk shows, whatever we come up with that night. We're going to be talking. And then, I guess I'll stop it from there because I'm not, the next Wednesday, I'm going to be saying we're probably going to go and talk, the Nick Spencer run. We'll have part 2 of that conversation. We're gonna go over the middle run of all those middle issues, up to the end if we get there, and really get into the meat of the whole Kendrick stuff. So that's coming up for my show, and thank you very much, Travis, for having me on your show. This is awesome. I love doing this with you.
Station, my friend.
Station.
The link to Big Herm Collectibles channel is down below, as well as his Instagram. And also, The guys he just mentioned too, Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, Nick from Comic Culture, Tomorrow Cinema, even Fable's Instagram is down in the link in the description down below. So guys, you guys want to check them out. Make sure to check out Nick Comic Culture after this. I'm not sure when he'll be dropping his video, but it will happen. And then make sure to go over and check out Big Herm Collectibles with Sam's Tangled Web and Bueller talking about Punisher. And he already said that, so I'm gonna keep on keeping on and just steal his word.
Keep on keeping on.
But guys, on your way out, make sure to hit that like button. If you're not subbed up already to the channel, sub up. And if you're watching this on the rewind, leave a comment down below. Let us know how we did, what we can do to make this channel better.
You forgot, ding, 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 that bell for notification.
That's your thing. So how about you just tell people to ding, ding, ding that like button for notifications.
If you like Travis's channel or my channel, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding, ding, ding that bell for notification for future videos. And back to you, TM.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out this amazing sit down I had with Big Herm Collectibles. He's a true friend of mine, and I love him so much. So guys, like, give him as much love as I do and the rest of the PCP Army Bad Batch do. Thank you so much for stopping by. Guys,
thank you.
As always, stay nerdy, my friends.